Hello. We'll be starting our second Scratch game today, which is the Maze game. So here we are in our Scratch, so we'll create a new game. So we'll just click on Create here, and it's creating a new game with our cat. I think we'll keep this cat this time. First, we need to get our maze though. So I'm going to open up Google, and we're just going to go to Maze Generator. Type that into Google, and there's a whole bunch. Let's just choose the first one that comes up, which is called mazegenerator.net. And we'll click into that, and it'll give us different options. And if we click on generate, it will give us this maze. I think that's a little too big for me, so I'm going to go 10 by 10. Just the width and height right here in the options. There's lots of different options that you can choose. You can play around with it. But I'm just going to keep a rectangular orthogonal 10 by 10 maze. I click generate new. There's a nice simple maze for me. Now I want to download this maze so that I can bring it into Scratch. There is a download button. It downloads it in PDF, which I don't quite want. So I'm going to choose an image, which is PNG. So go choose PNG and then go download. And that maze has downloaded. I'm gonna open up my what do you call it? Windows Explorer, and that downloaded into my downloads folder right there. And there it is, 10 by 10 orthogonal maze.png. Perfect. So I go back to Scratch. I'm gonna actually make this maze into the background. So I'm going to choose the background on the right hand side here. Choose a backdrop, and there's different options. I'm going to go upload backdrop. So don't click on this choose backdrop, just hover over it, and then these other options will come up. And like I said, upload backdrop, click on that. And navigate in the browser to downloads, and there's my maze. Open. Okay, my maze is here. It's a little too small. You can see the cat takes up the whole thing. So I'm just gonna go into the backdrops editor. And first thing, I can't really edit it because it's a bitmap. I want to click on this purple button at the bottom here, convert to vector. So I'll click on that, and now it's a vector, and now I can select it, and I can make it nice and big. Just like that. Well, a little too big. Just like that is good. And so, okay, that's good. I'll keep that as my backdrop. Now my cat, I need to shrink down my cat. So I'm gonna go change the size from 100 to say 20. Oh, well, that may be a little too small. Well, maybe it's okay. Yeah, he can kind of fit. I could go like a little bigger, maybe like 25. Yeah, maybe somewhere in between. We'll say 23. Okay. Okay, great. Now we need to do some coding for this cat. I'm going to click on the code up in the top left here. And how are we going to do it here? So I'm going to start as I always do in events and get the green flag. So when green flag is clicked, and then I want him to start at the beginning of the maze. And the idea is for him to end at the end up there, right? So at the beginning, I get my XY coordinates, which are right here. They change depending on where I put him. So right there, so that's x20, y is negative 165. I go to motion, and we get go to xy. And those numbers are already filled in there for me. Perfect. And then I get my game loop, forever loop right here. Okay, now I can start. So the idea is that every time that he moves, every time we click a button, he's going to move left or right or up or down. So I'm going to grab if. And then we're going to go to sensing, and we're going to grab key pressed. Okay, and we're going to put that in there. And we want to say start with, I don't know, we'll start with up. So if up is pressed, what do I want to do? I want to go to motion, and we want to change y, because it's in the vertical direction. Change y. change y by 10. I don't know exactly, but sure, we'll try that. Now if we play, then when I press up, sure enough, he goes that way. That's great. So let's add that for all of the different directions. So if I want to go down, I want to change y by -10. And I want to duplicate, and I want to say right. So this is not going to be change y because we're going in a horizontal direction. We want to change x. Change x by 10. And then left is going to be change x by -10. Alright, let's try that. Press the green flag. And indeed, I can move whichever direction I want. So there's a big problem. We're in a maze. We should not be able to walk through the walls. So that's the next thing that we're going to fix. So we need to get an if. And we're going to have to do it for each different direction. Because the way that we're going to do it is, like if I'm pressing the arrow, I'm already moving the Y. What I want to do is move the Y back to the place where it started from. So we'll put it in here, right underneath the change Y by 10. I'm going to go if, and then sensing, I'm going to go touching a color. Touching color right here. And the color is going to be black. So we'll change it to black. Just drag them all the way to the left, and that's black. And if I'm touching that color, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the opposite of this. So if I change Y by 10, I want to go change Y by -10. So grab change Y by, and we'll go -10. And let's just see if that works. Okay, so this time I press up, and it doesn't go through that wall. Pressing up, nothing's happening. I can still go everywhere else. Okay, great. Let's put that everywhere. So I'm just going to copy this little snippet of code. And so I did up, so I need to go down. So again, we're right after the change Y by -10. Touching color, black, change Y by 10. And then same thing for the other ones. Right arrow, change X by 10. I want to actually put it there and then change X by -10. And then the very same thing on the next one, except I'm going to change X by 10. And let's play that and see what happens. Okay, I can go here, but I cannot go. I'm trying to go through the walls, and I cannot go through the walls. So that is working pretty well. Sometimes, because you notice I'm kind of getting stuck here, because my head is trying to... let me make it bigger. Because my head is crashing into like that black line there. But like the reason that my feet are so far from the floor over here is because, I'm trying to move by 10 every time. And so, I'm moving in increments of 10, but there's not enough clearance here. So I can deal with that in a couple of ways. I can either make my maze, my cat smaller, or I can move slower. Let's try moving slower. So let's go 7. 7, -7, -7, 7, 7, -7, -7, and 7. Let's try that. Okay, see, now you see that my head and feet are getting... I'm just able to get way closer to the walls. And so I'm not running into that problem. I could have also, done it by I could have also done it by making the sprite smaller. That would have also worked. So yeah, just however you choose to do it is up to you. I want to add something. I want to add a little animation. So basically, if I look in the costumes of this sprite, I will see there's two of them. And that gives him, if I switch quickly between these two, it looks like he is walking because, the feet are kind of moving, right? So in order to get that effect, I'm going to, somewhere in here, actually right at the top, I'm going to switch to the next costume. Next costume. And so now, okay, I look like I'm running. And that's cool, except that he does it even when I'm not pressing anything, which is not great. So instead, I have to put it only when an arrow is pressed. Arrow is pressed there. And arrow is pressed there. An arrow is pressed there. And arrow is pressed there. Let's try that again. Feet are not moving, feet are moving. Okay, so now when he is not moving, he just stands still, which is what I want. Okay, perfect. Next thing I want him to do is I want him to change direction so that when he is moving to the left, right now it looks like he's walking backwards. What I want him to do is turn around and walk the other way. And so when I'm going to add a little directionality here. So let's see here. If I go to motion, I should find face in direction. Yeah, right here. Point in direction. And so right now he is pointing to the right. And so I'll add that to the right side, point in direction 90. And then when you press left, I want to point in the opposite direction. Okay, which is, well, you can experiment with it. If you go to the direction thing here, you can go like that, and you'll be facing the other way. So it is actually negative 90. Okay, negative 90. Okay, and if I press play, sure enough, I can go this way or that way, and I'm facing different direction. The only small thing is I'm going upside down, so there is a setting that can fix that, which is also in motion, and it's right here, set rotation style. This one right here, set rotation style, it's in motion. So you want to grab that and just, we want to set it just right at the beginning of the game and don't have to worry about it anymore. Okay, so set rotation style, left, right. Alright, so when we start now, okay, he's going left, he's going right, and he is facing the right way, and his head is upside, he's not upside down. Okay, great. Very last thing that I want to do is add an ending condition. So I want to put a little sprite up at the top here, so that when you touch that, it means that you've won. Alright, so let's make a new one. I could choose something from here, but I want to draw one myself. So I'm going to go to the paintbrush to paint. Okay, here's my sprite. I'll just draw a little circle. Just like that. That looks pretty good. I'll put it up at the top. Just maybe like that. Oh, how come it doesn't do it? I'll drag it up here. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I guess you can't have it outside. That's fine. Maybe I need to make it smaller. I'll just go back to the paint editor. And we'll just make it smaller. Okay. Good. Okay, now it's a small little dot. That's pretty good. And now when I play the... Oh, no, I have to code it. Go back to my cat. Go back to code. And in the forever loop, let's add another if. Okay, we're right here, like so. If I'm touching, go to sensing, touching. Okay, touching. Okay, well, let's give this a name instead of sprite2. We'll call it, I don't know, goal. Sure. Let's give my cat a name too. Let's call it cat. Okay, great. So if the cat is touching the goal, touching, okay, goal, then let's just do a go to looks, and then we'll just say that. Oops, we'll just say I win. Okay, that's great. So let's play that. I'm just gonna drag this up here as a little cheat. Okay, and I won. There we go. It touched that thing. Maybe I don't want it to look like a purple dot though. Maybe I want it to look just like nothing. And so I go to the purple dot costume, and instead of purple, I will fill it with just white. So now it's invisible. Now I can't see it, but now if I go up to the top, I can still touch it, and I can still say I won. And so yeah, that's great. All right, so that's your basic maze game. That's all for all for this video, and so we'll see you in the next one.